A little bit about me real quick. You may have heard my story before, but I actually was doing mortgages back in 2006 to 2008. Who remembers what happened in the real estate industry back in 2006 to 2008? Unlike where I'm at now, I was very young and immature, and I got out of the industry because the market crashed and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have tools in place. I didn't have anything in place to set me up for success. So I got out of the business and I went into retail. So I worked in retail. I worked at a luxury retail chain for 12 years, and I worked in so many different roles. So for those of you who know me and ask me how I get so much done, look at what I've done in my history in retail. I worked in sales. I worked in leadership. I worked in coaching. I worked in systems and processing. I was in purchasing, and I was in planning, which might explain a lot of what you're going to see in a minute here. So I did all that. And then I finally decided I want to get back into real estate. But the day I got back into real estate, I decided that failure was not an option. I don't like to lose at anything. I like to win. And I knew that when I got back, because I failed the first time in the industry, I didn't want to get back into it and fail again. I loved the industry, but I didn't want to have the same experience. So I knew that I had to do something completely different in order to make it successful. So what I did was, sharing what I'm going to share with you next, I learned how to take my background in banking and mortgages and my sales and process background in retail to create a very successful, scalable business. And that successful, scalable business that I've created is now going to help me propel and take market share in this coming market. So I'm really, really excited about it. So the first step was that I had to master social media. Why? Because I was on social media all the time. And I'm not that person who's ever going to take a social media hiatus. That's not going to happen. I'm always going to be on social media. All I had to do was learn how to monetize it. And the best person that I knew, that I had seen, because I'd seen her following me all the time, she targeted me and found me. The best person I knew to go after to how to master social media was Krista Mayshore. I joined her program back in 2019, and it was basically almost the day that I went full-time into real estate. And it's because she had a blueprint for success, and her blueprint included mastering social media. And I will tell you, as soon as I got into her program, there was a massive, massive increase in my business, okay? So I've learned so much from her, so much, but the foremost thing that I've learned from her is that I am a marketer. More than anything, that is what I am. When people ask me what I do, I will never tell you I sell real estate, ever. Like, people say, what do you do for a living? I'm a marketer. I help people market their homes for top dollar. That's what I say. I don't say I'm a realtor. But on top of being a marketer and falling in love with marketing, I want to be everywhere. Why? Because I want people to see me. I want them to know who I am. I want them to like me. I want them to trust me. I want them to call me. I want them to refer me. I want them to send me more business. And I want them to see me everywhere. I want people on the East Coast to see me. I want people on the West Coast to see me. I literally want people to see me everywhere. And I want them to know who I am. So if you follow me on social media, there's a lot of business that I share, but there's a lot of storytelling that I do. So essentially, she's going to come on this a little bit later, and you're going to hear what she has to say, and you're going to get pumped up because she's got incredible energy. And I'm here to tell you that when you see that incredible energy, that is 100% Krista. Her blueprint that I got from her helped my business quadruple in 12 months. So I went from being a solo agent doing about my first year in real estate. I was a part-time agent. I did about $86,000 in GCI. After 1 year in Krista's business, I went to $400,000 in GCI. So I can tell you that what I learned from just one person made a massive, massive difference. Next step is I have to master Google and YouTube, because what are we hearing? People, what did we just say? Tristan said it. Jonathan said it. Mark, whatever, you're going to hear it. People are on Google and people are on YouTube. That is where business is going. So I had to master it, and I wanted to do it before everybody else jumped on board, because after this call, I guarantee you there's going to be so many more of you who want to jump on the YouTube bandwagon, and it's going to be the right bandwagon to jump on, because that's where people are at. But I didn't know how to do it on my own. Just like a lot of you, I was trying to go and try to figure out little pieces here and there. But if you take it back to when I first got into real estate, I knew I needed to master social media. So I found the one person that could help me master it, right? And I did. So I knew I had used that same strategy moving forward into mastering Google and YouTube. You're going to see Eric Preston today. And he is who I joined up with. Him and his company is called Agent Launch. I joined up with them in March of 2022 to master Google and YouTube. So take it, right? So now I've got social media, I've got Google, I've got YouTube. And I'm going to tell you that with all of these things combined, everything I'm learning from mastering social media and Google and YouTube, my database since March of 2022 has grown from 1,200 to nearly 2,800 people. So my database has grown exponentially in a very, very short period of time. The other thing that this is like the coolest thing is that my YouTube channel, which I was struggling to grow, I didn't really know how. I'm following like little bits and pieces of like tips to try to learn, to try to make it grow. But the thing that helped me grow the best was like focusing with the right person and getting down to understand the true strategy behind YouTube. My channel grew from 120 to 516 subscribers since March. And I've closed 8 deals directly from YouTube. And the cool thing that you guys are going to learn about YouTube, it's free. It's free. Who likes free business? I do. I like to not spend money. And that's what I love about YouTube. So basically everything that you're seeing, all of this combined, I've achieved omnipresence. So what does that actually mean? Where do people actually see me? This is where they see me. They see me at the gym. They see me in the mailbox. They see me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, the gas station. Someone saw me at the gas station the other day. They see me because my sign is in their neighborhood. They're seeing me on LinkedIn. They're seeing me at the grocery store. I mean, people are literally seeing me everywhere. And I'm not just saying this because I just think this. It's because literally yesterday, I got a call and I picked up the phone. I was like, hi, it's Lynea. He was like, Lynea Carver? And I said, yeah. He was like, I see you everywhere. I literally see you. I see you on Facebook. I just saw your sign in my neighborhood and I need to sell my house. I think you're the one who needs to help me. How many of you want to get calls like that? Like, I really hope like everybody's raising their hand because those are the coolest calls to get. It feels so good to pick up the phone and it's not someone trying to sell you something. Because right now in real estate, we're all getting like if you're not getting 50 recruiting calls a day, you're getting 50, like, let me sell you the leads a day, right? We're all getting those phone calls right now. And so to actually have someone pick up the phone and have someone say, hey, I see you everywhere. You guys, I've done it. I've got I'm there. I've got what I want. I want people to see me everywhere. But, there's a whole strategy that's involved. And you're going to see a couple things on here, like you're going to see community events. I'm not going to go super into community events, but when I say this, what I'm saying is that people see me because I'm actually out in my community. I'm supporting them. I'm sponsoring events. I'm sponsoring tables. I'm sponsoring booths. I'm throwing parties. I'm throwing happy hours. Like I'm actually like really involved in my community. Okay. So all of this is omnipresent. So that is everywhere. That is it. Like, I don't, eventually at some point I can probably stop spending money on ads because I'm going to have as much of just a natural organic presence online and in person. There are a couple of quick questions that people always ask me, and those are like, what are my top platforms? And so you're going to see right here my list of my favorite social platforms in order that I like them. Instagram is my #1 favorite platform. I freaking love Instagram. You do not see TikTok on here. If you know me, you know if there's a story behind TikTok. I don't like TikTok, but it's okay. I'm still there, but it's not my favorite. Instagram is my favorite. And the reason why is because Instagram is where I tell my stories. So I'm not necessarily getting a bunch of cold leads from Instagram. I'm not necessarily getting people who are just pouring into my database from Instagram. But what's happening is the people that are seeing me on Facebook are now following me on Instagram. The people that are seeing me on LinkedIn, they're going to my Instagram channel. People that are seeing me on YouTube are going to Instagram. So I use Instagram as a way to tell my story, as a way to tell the story of how I'm involved in the community, as a way to tell the story of who I am. I go to the gym. I'm a gym rat. I'm a gym junkie, and I share it all the time on Instagram. It's a way to tell the story. I am a real person, and you're not going to come to Instagram and hear me trying to pitch you a call to action and get you to sign a form to fill out to get all this stuff, right? I'm going to tell you a story. This is a place where you can come and you can just learn who I am. So it is the ultimate know, like, and trust platform, in my opinion. The next thing I like is YouTube. And obviously I like YouTube because there's a direct impact, right? What I say, eight closed deals from YouTube just this year. Okay. So awesome. Have I paid for one single ad on YouTube? Yes, I have just recently started paying for ads on YouTube, but I didn't pay for any ads to be able to close these deals. Okay. These were all organic. These are all people who are going in and searching, living in Bonnie Lake, Washington, Bonnie Lake real estate, right? These are people who are actually searching for what I have. And so they're coming to me, and by the time they watch one of my YouTube videos, they've gone down the Lynea Carver rabbit hole, right? How many of you have done that, have gone on a YouTube rabbit hole? You see one person and all of a sudden you go down a rabbit hole. That's actually how I found Eric. I saw one thing because I was wanting to learn about Google Ads. He had a video about Google Ads and I was like, cool, let me follow this guy. And I just went down the rabbit hole. That's how I found Krista. Same thing, rabbit hole. And that's what I wanted to do, was be able to create a rabbit hole for people. So by the time people call me from YouTube, which happens about 2 to 3 times a week, no joke, people pick up the phone and call me, inbound calls, right? By the time people call me from YouTube, they've gone down the rabbit hole. I haven't had to pay a single thing for them to call me. And here we are. Like, and they already trust me. It's not like I'm having to fight for that business, right? I'm taking market share organically. And that's what I want. The other platform I like in order is Facebook. Facebook is like, we're here because Street Text is a Facebook platform. I love Facebook mostly for small businesses. So you guys, if you want to get involved in your community and you want to connect with the small businesses in your community, you want to do community videos, community events, whatever you want to do with your community, if that is part of your strategy for 2023, you need to be involved in your local Facebook groups. You need to be involved and invite people that are small business owners to like your page, and you need to like their page. You need to engage on their page. Small businesses are on Facebook. And that is why I like Facebook, because that is my strategy, is to be more involved with small businesses, support those businesses, and that's where they're at. Plus, I mean, family and friends are on there too. So, that's also a benefit, but this is like outside the box of family and friends, right? And then the last kind of in order is Google Business and LinkedIn. So they're kind of a toss up for me. I like them both. Google Business Profile, yes, we talk about Google Ads, but in this particular example, I'm talking about Google Business Profile. I use it like I use any other platform. And I love it. I love it because it's another way for people to see me, to know me, to like me, and to trust me, and to actually drive them to Facebook and Instagram, right? So I'm not really going after Google Business and expecting people to convert from Google Business, but I am expecting them to go to click on one of my links and go to my YouTube channel or go to my Instagram or wherever and follow me there. And these people become very warm. The same with LinkedIn. I don't actually go to LinkedIn and expect I'm going to get business. There's probably a strategy there. And who knows? In 2024, I might say, hey, LinkedIn is my next platform. Who knows? But right now, what I like LinkedIn for is because it's driving people to Instagram. It's driving people to YouTube. It's driving people to see me everywhere. Those are my top platforms. My tools, my top 3 tools, you guys. Street Text. Okay, we're here because this is Street Text is putting this on. Street Text was my number 3 source of business in 2022. And they are my number 1 online lead source in 2022. So number 3 source of business behind referrals and community events. Street Text, they're my number 3 source of business. Like I said, in 2022, 15% of my businesses come from Street Text. I've heard so many people ask me, are you still using Street Text? Does it really work? Does it do this? Yes, it works. Yes, it absolutely works. But here's the thing, you guys. My mentality when I started using Street Text was not that I was going to close a crap ton of business. That wasn't my mentality. It's just been kind of the effect of it. But I went into Street Text knowing that the purpose was to build my database, right? Street Text is not the conversion tool. I am the conversion tool. My Omnipresence is the conversion tool. Instagram is the conversion tool. Those are the conversion tools. Street Text is the platform. It's the tool that helps me get the people to learn how to convert. The other thing that I love about Street Text is that you can do remarketing, which I just started having Street Text do for me. And I got to tell you, I don't even know, have you guys announced your ads management thing? I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I'm sorry, I just did. But I'm telling you, I'm having Street Text manage my Street Text ads right now. And it's amazing. I've saved so much money. I've gotten more quality leads. So the other thing about Street Text is it's really, really easy to do niche marketing. So if you have a niche and you want to focus on a niche, it's really easy to do niche marketing because they've taken the complication out of creating a Facebook ad, and they make it so you just it's a plug and play. You just have to plug in what you want people to see and what you want them to get. And there you go, right? It's the easiest way to build your database through Facebook. Next thing, if you ever heard me say anything, you should not be surprised that I am a huge advocate for Homebot. If you're in Canada, I am so sorry you don't have this tool. I know you have Homebot, which is a cloud CMA thing, but in my opinion, it's not nearly the same. Homebot is my number. I love it. I love it. Can't obviously see that I haven't changed this particular image since January, But the reason I like it is multifaceted. I like it because every single week I get an update from Homebot that tells me who is active in Homebot. Okay. I can go in and I can see what they're actually doing. What are they seeing? They're viewing their home. They viewed, how many times do they view their home over the last 30 days? That's at least 5 right there. So what does that mean for me? That means, okay, there's my priority for people I want to reach out to. Homebot makes it so easy to send out market updates to everybody in your database really easily. You just create one video and send it out through Homebot. It's real cool, but you have to have Homebot plugged out or built out with video. So if you don't have a lender partner, you need to find one and you need to build out Homebot with video, because I will tell you, I had a listing appointment yesterday and the guy has been getting my Homebot emails for the last year. And he replied to the Homebot email and he said, Lynea, we're not actually selling our house quite yet, but I am the executor of my mother's estate and we need to sell her house. Can you help us? That lead came in through street text, okay? But Homebot, setting him up on Homebot and actually utilizing it and building it out with video, that helped me convert the lead. Okay, so you see, street text is not a conversion platform, it's a database builder. The conversion comes here. The conversion comes into the tools that you're using to convert. So this is part of the reason I love Homebot. The other reason I love it is because if you do it right and you have it built out the right way and you're giving the right messaging to the people through Homebot, your open rate, my open rate on Homebot is like 69%, which is pretty big. Like what other email has that big of an open rate? Finally, the tool that I started using this year, which has been a game changer, is Follow Up Boss. You guys, Follow Up Boss is, this is the CRM that I use. I'm going to go back to the old thing. Like, the CRM that works best is the one that you're actually going to use. Okay. So for me, for many of you, there's probably a lot of other better CRMs out there. But for me, Follow Up Boss is the CRM that I finally found that I actually use and I actually like to use. And that was like the key for me, is that I like to go in there. I like to go in and to see what's going on. It has all the reports I need. So that's the CRM that I use. So part of the way that I convert through Follow Up Boss is I email campaigns and I integrate them with video. Probably doesn't surprise anybody. Video, right? But what I learned is actually how to use my email campaigns, integrate them with video, and drive people back to my YouTube channel. Okay. So let's go back to this slide, right? YouTube. That's where they're seeing me. They're literally seeing me everywhere because I'm now driving them there. Right? And I'm driving them there because I got the lead from street text and they're on Homebot and they're going into Follow Up Boss. And now they're from Follow Up Boss, they're being driven back to my YouTube channel. So you kind of see how the whole cycle's going here. It's like a big circle. It's just like everyone, just everywhere I'm going, they're just seeing me. And also in my email campaigns, I'm leading them back to my website. Why do I want to lead them back to my website? Because I'm going to use street text for my remarketing. And as long as they've been pixeled, I can add that as an audience, right? So there we go. So you guys, it all kind of works. It's one big cycle. The other thing that I do in Follow Up Boss that really gets me a lot of good feedback is that I deliver items of value. So you see this little down here at the bottom, a little tip about following up like a boss is you got to plan ahead, you got to serve, you got to sprinkle a little bit of marketing on top of your serve. On top of your serving, you just sprinkle it with marketing. Right? And you serve by giving value. You give value, but your value has to come from your marketing message, and can't go into that whole big circle right now. That's a big rabbit hole as well. Anything you do with your follow-up, whether it be with street text, with Homebot, with Follow Up Boss, whatever you want to do, you have to be consistent and you have to stop overthinking. You just have to. Like, you just got to stop. Make that your mantra. We all do it. We're realtors. This is what we do. We overthink everything. Okay. So at least me, I do. But my mantra for 2023 is stop overthinking. Like, just do it, because like the more you think about things, the less consistent you're going to be, and consistency will kill you. The inconsistency will kill you online. Okay. Consistency is more important than frequency online. Consistency over frequency every single day. If your consistency is once a week, be consistent on social, be consistent in your follow-up, be consistent and do it that same time every single week. If that's all you can commit to. If you commit to doing events, do an event at the same, like once a quarter. Don't try to go and do one event every week. Consistency is so much more important than frequency. So that's the only thing you need to remember.